power lines and trees in the area. So we know that Encore has told us that we may not have access to those facilities for several days. But we cannot let these students stay home. So we've been in contact with their principals, we're getting the word out, and you're going to help us do that. And so those two schools will report to Lowe's Fieldhouse on Wednesday. And their teachers will be there, food service will be there. We will have as much of a resemblance of school as we can, but we need to get their parents back to work. We need to get those schools functioning. And so on Wednesday, they will be at Lowe's Fieldhouse. We think that we can get those buildings operable by next Monday, and that is our intent, to go and have them operable by the 28th. We could have Pershing there with them, so there could be 3 schools actually at Lowe's Fieldhouse starting on Wednesday. And then that takes me to the 3 most severe issues that we have. And they're all located very close to each other. And I'll start with Walnut Hill Elementary School. Walnut Hill, as you know, is an outstanding school. Has gotten Blue Ribbon status again for the second time. It's a national Blue Ribbon school. We have a lot of parents who choose to go there that don't live in that community. And that school is severely damaged. We don't know that, in fact, the insurance adjusters have been there and are basically telling us it's going to be a total loss. So there's no way for them to have school there anytime in the near future. In the bond program considerations we've been having, there was going to be a discussion about the future of Walnut Hill, whether we needed to build them a new school or not. So what we're going to do for the immediate future is we're going to move those students intact, all their principals and teachers, and we're going to take them to Tom Field Elementary School. We shut down Tom Field last year, so it is open and available. We've had crews in there making sure it's presentable. So on Wednesday, all of our students from the school will be going to Tom Field, and they will start operating. Food service will transfer all their situations over there. We've mobilized the entire team, and so we expect to have school for Walnut Hill at Tom Field. That will probably be their location for a year and a half until we figure out the first steps forward for the Walnut Hill property as to what we do in the future. The next one is also not as easy, and that is Cary Middle School. It's probably the most damaged. When I drove by there this morning, I saw a police vehicle that had been lifted from the parking lot and thrown very close to the school. There was significant damage throughout that school. I would anticipate that will also be a total loss. We have about 500 students there. That one, we don't have a location where we can send all the students. So I've been in contact with the trustees, and I told them that in these kind of crises, you have to make some command decisions, and we'll have items for ratification next week at the board meeting that we have scheduled for next Tuesday. But we're going to have to split up that school at this point. We're going to send students that live in there's a natural boundary, and we're going to send about a third of the students to Medrano Middle School. Medrano Middle School is a relatively new middle school, and they have plenty of space for about 200 students. The other 300 students who live on another part of that attendance zone are going to have to go to Franklin Middle School, effective Wednesday. And we have enough space at Franklin Middle School to accommodate those students. And so those teachers will be split up. We're in the process of doing that over the next 24 to 48 hours and notifying the families of which students are going to be going to Medrano and which students are going to be going to Franklin. As you can tell, this is a very big ordeal. Let's try to figure out all the details here in short order. And then also we have another issue, and that's with Thomas Jefferson High School. Thomas Jefferson High School also received significant damage. However, a structural engineer will have to tell us whether we even have access to the school, inside the school or not. But from a visual view of that school with our staff members, it looks like it received less damage than Walnut Hill and Cary. There is an opportunity maybe that with some good fortune, and since we already have a construction project there, we could turn that contractor loose and hopefully be back in that school next August. But there is no way that school can be inhabited between now and August. We have about 1,800 students at Thomas Jefferson. Thomas Jefferson is one of our higher performing high schools.